They're short. Some of
The
them are
majority
short.
of them appear to
They're
be.
not snakes.
I was already thinking.
The
It.
majority
I know,
of them
I could
appear
hear
to
it.
be clustered in groups, with a handful of them upside down on the ceiling, apparently kind of looking out, searching for various things.
Do they look particularly energetic or interested?
None of them appear to have any form of like hostile motivation at the moment.
How close are we to these things? Actually,
Roll a
it doesn't
nature
matter.
check, please.
Nature or animal?
What's that?
I'd like to cast Orsight on one of them.
Currently you're too far away from them at the moment, if I remember right, or
And it says anything that I can see.
oh, intriguing. Just any creature?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As an action, select a creature that you can see.
Okay. What would you like to know about it?
They're animals, so their wisdom wouldn't count for much anyways, would it?
No, I'm
Okay.
not even gonna worry about it.
Their alignment,
Neutral.
hit points.
I don't remember.
We're not meant to fight them.
Okay.
I just.
I don't remember because they're so high.
Their current attitude.
It's overnight. No.
What's their like just
You
current
weren't supposed to
attitude?
beat my ice golem.
Uh,
Watchful, attentive,
Okay.
non-aggressive.
Guys, these things aren't aggressive. We might be able to talk to
all of them.
22.
Well, or
22.
Kind of.
I just
Um,
want to walk on
You're vaguely familiar with this type of lizard. They're not incredibly common. They usually hang out around the mouths of large caves, and they feed off of
halflings.
No. I'm picking
bats, some birds, rodents, any form of like usually smaller creatures.
Like snakes.
Pick up the halfling.
Not necessarily.
Try to get out.
Turn to a snake is your only chance. Well, I mean, like, we could use them as bait.
But it's like him-sized snakes. It's a large snake.
They're generally considered non-aggressive.
Okay.
On rare occasions, they can be territorial,
Okay.
but they're somewhat known.
Okay. Cautious but quickly. Be respectful. No touchy. Maybe someone watch the halfling.
No.
There's a couple that are at least 9 feet tall.
The 9 feet versus the
They're
3
immune
foot
to
might
my
be-
to my key. We'll just put the halfling in between us all.
We could try to lure one out with some rations and see if they want to be our pet.
Actually, I was of the same mind.
We can ride
Yeah.
them in
But-
battle.
One of the smaller ones. Let's try to get a pet.
Ride
If we're
them.
within 30 feet of it, I can
Lizards
speak to
riding
telepathic.
So does
Somebody-
anybody
lizard
have animal
farmers.
handling?
Make
I have a
money
plus
by the
4.
millions.
He's got more than I do.
Hey, if we
I think he's got
stop
the
laughing.
Didn't you already volunteer
can
say no one in the party
harvest
had
their
animal
milk and
handling?
sell it.
Nobody does.
Nobody.
What if we
You're
create?
only bats.
What if we create a following of them and we have
Laura.
100 lizards?
See,
Laura.
now it's too much. Now it's too much.
Laura, would you like to roll an animal handling check?
Thank you.
Oh, you
I
have.
have expertise, motherfucker.
Oh.
An animal handling?
Yes. It's
I didn't
almost
know that. My apologies.
it's almost like she built her character very very ranger-like rogue.
It's almost like you know
Yes.
everyone's character.
She has.
My apologies.
I'm not getting you a goddamn pet though. Why would I?
She'll get herself
We
a
need
pet.
to
Who
round
wants
them
to
up
get
and harvest
them
their
and
milk
make
and sell
them
it.
and build a farm?
We could do that.
We could.
She wants to make
Lizard
little
milk
tiny
goes for a
lizard
pretty-
hybrids with them.
Platinum.
Mayhaps.
Lizards milk? That doesn't sound
Yeah, it's called semen.
I really thought. I swear I thought you told me you didn't have fucking animal.
No.
It's the other
Hey, stop metagaming. 15.
15. Okay. So, taking a look out over the lizards that are around you, you can kind of get a general sense of their basic social structure, if you will. There's a number of them across the ceiling and walls that are all on the lookout, very attentive. What? A what? No, none of those ones
like
do.
a bitch.
There's a large cluster of them over off to the right-hand side, up against where the tunnel widens out into a wall and curves around. Probably at least 10 to 15 of them, all clustered together. Figuring that that's probably a good place to start.
Okay, while you guys are doing this, I'm just about to say pee real fast.
Ew.
It was under the table.
It's not.
It is not the first time.
You can't.
He's used to being down there.
You can't just stretch Armstrong down the door.
Elastadick.
Yes. Heading over in their general direction, you pull a couple small pieces of, a couple of small pieces of dried meat out of your pouches. Getting the attention of a couple of them that were on the outskirts, you manage to toss a couple of the pieces over and get a couple of their attention. Go ahead and roll another animal handling check, please. A 15. All right. Gathering a small crowd of them away from the main cluster. You've got a good 4 of them that are willing to take a couple steps closer to you. But none of them are quite willing to come within arm's reach of you as of yet.
Have a lizard.
Mount down.
Okay, so we're gonna do one of the big ones. I will need a lizard for
If y'all really want a lizard,
Speak! I can't read your mind.
I was waiting on everybody else to finish speaking. Would Feinstein work on one of the bigger ones?
a flying lizard.
You've used the Find Steed spell enough. You have to make a connection with an animal first before you can actually use it to
Dig sticks in your hands.
summon one.
Fair enough.
What about find greater steed?
Same.
Come on.
So,
That's a better version of the spell you got.
you've got a handful of them that are willing to get close, but not close enough for you to touch them. Go ahead and roll another animal handling check.
Come on. 20.
No, 14.
God damn.
14. They're willing to accept food, but they're just not trusting as of yet.
Feel better?
Not after walking into a hole and headbutting a trailer.
Oh shit, are you alright?
Yeah, I just felt my deck
done
safe.
that at this point.
Oh, I'm fine. It just
It sucks not having dark vision, right?
yeah, it really does.
Anyone have like good charisma?
You okay?
I do.
Yeah, it didn't really hurt. But, like-
You would know well enough. Charisma's
well,
not much
looks
for
like
these.
it hurts.
These are not.
Baby, you're bleeding.
Not
That's alright.
fat face.
He
It's
didn't hurt
not
any-
the first time this has happened to my
He didn't hurt
forehead.
anything he uses anyway, so.
Oh.
Here, at least.
Period. Would dating
I have a nice.
Oh, that's not even bad.
Oh well, I mean it depends.
This is little,
do you
but
have
still,
other
it's
things to
blood.
offer them, or
No.
beat them with a
Pressure.
bat?
It'll
with a what?
helps claw it and seal it faster.
They eat bats.
Can you turn into a bat?
They eat snakes.
You're not talking to me, right?
Oh, I'm definitely talking to you.
No, that was the other
You know,
character.
thing we
It
could do,
specifically
if you really
stated
want
that
to
I
tame
can
a
only.
lizard, bait one into his portable
Light.
hole,
They like,
and then we'll tame it at the tower.
but then they might die with the oxygen loss.
Oh.
That's true.
Hmm.
Be a death lizard.
No, which helps for something, but not what you guys are.
I mean, that
looking for.
helped me in the long
No,
run.
Rafali likes
not
his milk.
everywhere else.
His lizard milk.
I wonder if you confuse it, or that just make them violent. They're territorial too, so they don't like keep dating
Really can't do anything
causing
here.
issues.
Can I tell standing around them, does my pommel shine when I'm around them and not around the rest of the party?
None of them are willing to let you get close enough.
I have nothing on this one. I'm useless.
Can I try animal handling?
What's that, dog?
Are you trained?
No.
It won't work for something like this.
Okay.
If it was something of more of a more familiar creature that people deal with on a regular basis, like say horses or like farm animals,
Right. That
then
makes
probably. But these are exotic enough to where you kind of have to have some form of training in dealing with them.
Are any of them wounded in any way?
Please wrestle with it to
You're
try
gonna
and
do
It's kind of
like-
hard. It's kind of hard to tell. You don't really see anything.
like
As
a
far as
line
that
with
goes.
a Thing in a ball.
gonna lay on hands.
Look funny.
I'll help you.
You want to put on a
I
little
took
show
my
for
arm
them, see
off.
if you can get their attention
I
with some
saved
sound.
sense.
Get them to calm down a bit more.
Are you
Maybe
gonna
come
Are you gonna
towards us.
keep trying to at least like see what you can do as far as enticing them
I'll
in?
see if the ones that went for the bait
Let's
will
keep
let
throwing
me
food
use
at
up a
them.
little
All,
more
all of
while
our,
they're
Okay.
our rations.
Go ahead and roll another animal handling check.
It works with women.
The bender will help you.
eat.
Why not?
Do we still have that coffer?
No.
George?
Yeah, he uses that.
Hey, Gothamar, do we still have that coffer?
Yeah.
Can you fill it with water?
No.
You want to use that to remove me
Why?
lucky on it?
If you could fill it with water, toss water breathing on them, then toss them in a portable hole.
18, 20. Modify 20.
The coffer itself is not large enough to fit
Oh.
pretty much any of them, but
It
you would
was a
still
giant
you would
thingy.
still have to be able to get a hold of one in order to be able to do so.
Now you
Yeah.
guys
Get a
And
hold of
So
you guys
on
are
top of
staring
that,
at me.
that's my office.
It doesn't make
So
you
no.
staring at me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
No lizards in
He
All
actually
right.
doesn't know it's your office, he just knows you have a portable hole.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, when I had it open up on the wall, you saw a desk and chairs and like beakers and shit and all that kind of
We
crap.
don't need a lucky to survive going down, so if we wasted them all to get a lizard.
ouch. I will make
What'd you
it.
get?
Modify 20. Have to bring my last lucky.
Got a modified 20.
Two of us will have all our luckies at least, so...
Yeah, I remember.
That helps me, not me.
Getting a sense for what they like, which ones are okay with you approaching a little bit closer. There's a couple of them that are a little bit more territorial than the rest. Using that to kind of entice one of them in, you wait long enough before one of them, the other territorial one, snaps at the other one, before finally like getting close enough to actually take the food out of your hand itself. And you watch as there's a sudden rush of movement through the group of lizards. As you watch as a significantly larger, bright orange lizard with a red crest across its head leaps up out of the pile of lizards and faces off against you. And you watch as the other ones immediately in front of you that were before interested in the food suddenly back out of the way. As it lowers its head and hisses at you.
I guess 3 minutes ahead.
I could.
I don't think you should intimidate it.
She asked.
Oh, I didn't know that. I can barely hear. I can barely hear you sometimes.
That's just because you're more man.
That's because you speak like a fucking choir boy.
I can speak quite loudly if you wish me to. You just yell at me.
It stopped roughly about 15 feet away from you, and it lowered its head to the ground and is currently stamping its back feet and kind of eyeing you from low to the ground.
Hasn't gotten to the food yet, correct?
Correct.
I'm gonna split it. If I toss half the food, keep the other half in my hand.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an animal handling check. What was the total? Huh? 13. You watch as it watches the food hit the ground before circling around to one side a little bit and then moving back to the other side. It doesn't appear to have been enticed by the food. It's keeping its eyes on you, but isn't getting any closer.
You want to use a different dice?
That was one of my dice, just like you guys here. Can I take another step closer towards it?
Certainly. Go ahead and roll another animal handling check.
This makes me think of Pokemon.
Thunder blesses you.
Nat 20
Oh.
plus 2, so 30. Why do you want this goddamn lizard?
Taking a step forward, you watch as a almost imperceptible widening of its eyes. Taking a cue from that, you take another step forward, lunging a little bit, and you watch as it backs up a step before coming forward again. Getting a sense of its movements, you ever so imperceptibly start tricking it one step at a time, getting a little bit closer each time.
Okay.
Finally, at the last couple steps, you watch as it tries to circle around to your side. Catching a hold of the frill, you sense a chance to either try to mount it or push it away.
Don't let him eat.
This fucking lizard.
It's up to you.
It's literally just pure
I don't
curiosity.
know if the lizard would be
Please?
Sure.
Interest in
Try
lizards.
and mount the fucking lizard.
All right,
It's gonna bite me.
go ahead and make
It's not
an
that.
animal handling check.
Guess we'll find out.
Everybody's
Can I
like,
check?
Animal handling check.
With Ender. Oh wait, you gotta be close. Never mind. Sorry.
No, just too far away now.
18.
18.
And what body part am I in?
As you feel your legs lock on, gripping on either side of the frill on that runs the back of its skull, there's a moment where it starts to dip to one side.